16-year-old Numoha scores 100th minute winner as Liverpool beat Newcastle. Pride, passion, and heartbreak, but Newcastle need end to ISAC SAGA. Stoppage time heartbreak against Liverpool? Newcastle United have been here before, many times in fact. Stan Collymore winner in 1996 still brings out Geordies of a certain generation in a cold sweat, and it was just a couple of years ago that Darwin Núñez snatched all 3 points at St. James Park with a sucker punch. Neither of those goals were quite as late as Rio Numoha's 100th minute strike on Monday night, however. Having fought back from 2-0 down with 10 men and lost Fabian Schär, Sandro Tonali, and Joelinton to injury, Newcastle went home with nothing. Yet the crowd's reaction at full time said it all as Newcastle fans stood to applaud Eddie Howe's exhausted side. "Those guys make me proud," the head coach said of his players following the 3-2 defeat. "Their spirit and togetherness has never been in question. They're absolutely entwined into Newcastle. They want to be here. They want to play. They're connected to the club in a way that's very deep." Fans' passion matched on the field. Those words felt timely. It was just a few months ago that Alexander Isak wrote himself into club folklore by scoring against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final to help end the club's 70-year wait for a major domestic trophy. Yet it was Liverpool's fans who were singing about Isak this time around, as the away end repeatedly urged Newcastle to hand him over. Isak was conspicuous by his absence once again, as the one-away Swede, for whom Liverpool have had a £110 million offer rejected, continues to train away from the rest of his Newcastle teammates. Inevitably, this saga added a new dimension to the game. It certainly did not feel like an early season fixture as a result. Fans' passion matched on the field. Those words felt timely. It was just a few months ago that Alexander Isak wrote himself into club folklore by scoring against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final to help end the club's 70-year wait for a major domestic trophy. Yet, it was Liverpool's fans who were singing about Isak this time around, as the away end repeatedly urged Newcastle to hand him over. Isak was conspicuous by his absence once again as the one-away Swede, for whom Liverpool have had a £110 million offer rejected, continues to train away from the rest of his Newcastle teammates. Inevitably, this saga added a new dimension to the game. It certainly did not feel like an early season fixture as a result. The Liverpool players were booed getting off the team bus. By the time the visitors made it out to inspect the pitch, there were Newcastle fans gathered to jeer them some more. When the champions lineup was read out by the stadium announcer a few minutes before kickoff, the cacophony of boos was deafening. The passion of the home support was matched by the intensity Newcastle played with. Liverpool, tellingly, conceded 7 fouls in the opening 20 minutes alone as they aggressively tried to keep the hosts back. Liverpool went on to take the lead, courtesy of Ryan Gravenberch's effort, before Newcastle forward Anthony Gordon literally left his mark on Virgil van Dijk's calf and was sent off. By the time former Newcastle target Hugo Ekitike, of all people, doubled Liverpool's lead seconds after the break, it looked a long way back for the hosts. But the stadium erupted once more when captain Bruno Guimaraes' header pulled one back. It felt like the roof was going to come off when William Osula scored a late equalizer. Just when it seemed like Newcastle were on course for a hard-fought point, though, Liverpool snatched all 3 at the death. Dominic Soboslai's superb dummy teamed up Numoha to strike from 12 yards and silence the majority of the stadium. ISAC resolution finally imminent. Liverpool were certainly clinical. But Newcastle will still rue not pressing home their advantage with a full complement of players when the game was goalless. Set plays were wasted. The hosts were screaming out for a poacher to get on the end of teasing crosses that were gratefully claimed by Allison. On the one occasion, a delivery from Harvey Barnes picked out the head of Gordon, the forward failed to hit the target. Digging deeper, Newcastle have had 26 shots in their opening 2 league games of the season, but Howe's side have managed just 6 efforts on target and 2 goals. Although Osola got on the score sheet on Monday night, the 22-year-old is still developing and has never started a Premier League game for the club.